It's just me and you, and I have some questions. Why do we hurt? Why is everything a lesson? What I call a test, you call a blessing. Why is it so hard to believe? Why should I pray if you know the ending? I feel like I lost right from the beginning.
So it's 1 o'clock in the morning, and I really should be going to bed. It's Saturday, and I have church in a couple of hours. But I thought it was important to kind of let you know or digress on how things have been coming along as far as school. So I know I look a little crazy because I washed my hair. I'm just air drying it, so I haven't flat ironed it, so don't judge that. But law school confidential. There's some professors that will try to break you. There are some professors who just aren't there to see you genuinely grow. And the process in your first year is meant, especially your first semester, to break you and to weed out those who are weak. So I'm learning about that right now, and I am not going to say it is easy. I am not even going to say that I'm not even going to say that, but I just feel like I needed to let you know, because I'm still going through the process of encouraging myself and reaching out to people to encourage me, that I need to not give in to this pressure. Yeah, you will break down, you may cry, you may be depressed, you may isolate yourself, but temporarily. Don't let that be your dwelling place. So, law school confidential, stay strong after midterms. It'll get better. At least I hope so. This is what everything is looking like today in the office of Erlene Lugene Esquire. We got candy up there, pretzels to the right, lots of papers, double screen computer, papers every single where. This folders. So I have taken 2 final exams. Let me make sure my door's locked. I've taken 2 final exams so far, and it is luck. And today was the second final. I have 1 more to go. People who are part-time are done with their exams as of today. My brain hurts. And this last exam is going to be no freaking joke. No joke. But I know that because I'm not doing this on my own, I couldn't have done it on my own, that God is with me and he's watching me, and I know that everything's already taken care of. He's already written the ending, so to speak. And so I know I will be victorious. I will definitely still do what I gotta do as far as my work, but it's good to say or feel that 2 out of the 3 big exams of my law school career at this point is over. No, I really feel sick right now. I'm my head hurt because it's just been an intense couple of weeks, and it's gonna be an even more intense 2 days leading up to my last exam on Thursday, and a definite cause for celebration and gratefulness and prayer. And don't mind my hair. This is for me to take a nap, because I might end up having to go to a friend's house to further study. Yeah. All right, that was my update. Talk to you later. Bye. So I haven't taken the time to really record a video since the semester was over. I think I was just so happy that it was over and that I wasn't sure even how I felt even after the end of it. I think some of the exam that I thought I would have bombed, I necessarily didn't. But for the most part, I guess what it is that I'm facing a serious battle. And I think it's a test that I'm going through in regards to my faith. I feel I'm not in the best state. I can't say that I'm ecstatic and happy right now, but I'm trying to remain faithful because I know that my God is a great God, and the reason that I'm going through this test right now is for a bigger purpose, a bigger plan, and for His glory. So I find that making these videos and looking back at them were very helpful along the way because it felt like I'm talking to someone, and it also kind of makes me remember what I've been through and that I made it through. So I want to continue to do that. So I just want to encourage myself and those who I may, I guess, eventually show this to, that the struggle doesn't end after the semester is over. The struggle doesn't end when you get accepted into law school. It's actually when you have to keep fighting to be there, like to hold your spot, to stay in that spot. So I'll explain another video of what test I'm going through, but for the most part, we're going through it. And I believe in God's faith and God's will that it'll all be okay in the end. So the test here that I'm going through is I ended up thinking after my first semester of law school that I would have been on academic probation, and it was tough to be able to see that, and I was just like scared because I knew that one of my professors was going to fail me because she had just had a vendetta against me from day one. And I'm not a scorned student to say that because I failed the class was the reason why I felt like she had a vendetta. I didn't do well so hot in Civ Pro, but I don't, I know that was something that I needed to work harder on, and maybe there was, in reviewing maybe certain material a little bit closer, I could probably do better in that class. But this particular class is a writing class that I felt like regardless of however I approached the situation, I was still at a disadvantage. And my professor was not by any means trying to help the situation, but instead tried to kind of break me down by saying condescending comments and insulting comments in regards to my intelligence, things like that. So she was very mean and nasty to me. But for the most part, I just was bearing my mind to think that I would have to take the course over, and to even then it felt like, oh my God, the end of the world. But come to find out, I came back a week early so that I can meet with my professors and find out how I did on each of my final exams and how I can improve and what I can do to do better this next semester. But it come to find out that I ended up being academic dismissal list. So I did get the F, and I did try to appeal that with the dean today. So I'm just kind of waiting to hear back from that. And in the process, I'm just throwing myself in prayer because I know that the God that I serve, that brought me here, that showed me in a dream that this was going to happen for me, is not going to leave me midway. I don't come from money. I don't have money like that. I live in a decent place. I'm making it okay, by the grace of God, through loans and my family helping me out financially, and they don't have it. So I don't have it. I don't have it to just be expendable. But I know that, God has a purpose for everything. And if He's testing my faith, I will never stop serving Him. I will never give up on Him, regardless of how the situation turns out. And I know that there's a bigger and better plan for me in the end. So, that's just part of the story, and I'll let you know how everything comes about. Last I checked on the portal, they took down all the classes that I was registered for the spring semester, and the first week of immersion, so to speak, starts on Monday. and I guess I'm not able to go to that either. So I'm just going to pray, because that's my weapon, and this battle is not mine, it's the Lord's, and God is my lawyer in this situation. He's my attorney, and I'm depending solely on him. So until next time. Hey everyone, it's your girl Linnee, and I just wanted to bring you an update. I haven't had a chance to really speak to you guys since last year, and then it is now 2015, and I am super excited to still be alive and still have a new chance and a new opportunity at life. And so I just wanted to kind of give you an update in regards to my last testimony video that I gave, where I was just so happy that and wanting to share my desire, well, not my desire, my experience in regards to my last semester, my fall semester, so to speak, in law school. And so a lot has happened since then, and I just kind of want to share my experience with you along the way, and if you want to hear more about it, stay tuned. So as you all know, I'm in my first year, and I'm out here in North Carolina, and it was an amazing experience to be able to get here. I believe that God absolutely led me to this experience. A lot of things had happened that I never thought would have happened, in the sense of how easy the transition was starting my first semester. And so it wasn't necessarily, and when I say transition, I mean in the sense of like finding a place financially, no issues as far as classes and so forth, and everything just kind of worked out. And sorry guys, not supposedly, but everything kind of worked out for his good. And I was super excited about it, and uber ready to just kind of start this journey that I've been waiting on for about 6 to 7 years now. And so when I came back over the break, I got a lot of my grades back, and to say the least, it wasn't what I expected. I was super it kind of put a damper on my holiday break, because I just really was hoping that things would just work out in God's favor, in the sense of, you know, the grades reflecting that. And it still is. It's still God's favor. Whatever plan that God has for me, you know, it's falling in that line. So I can't say that it isn't. So in respects to that, my grades weren't that great as I had hoped. This exams, there was one exam that I thought I bombed, like, for sure. It was my TOEIC exam, and I just was like, when I looked at it, I was just like to find out I didn't do as bad as I thought I did, because I completely like froze. And it was the last exam, and it was the biggest one, and there was so many essays that I had to write at the end. And in fact, the part that I thought I struggled in was writing the analysis essays, and I thought I would have did okay as far as the multiple choice, but in actuality my essays were a lot better than I did as far as my multiple choice. The only thing is I missed talking about an issue. I don't know how that happened, but I completely missed talking about an issue, and that cost me 10 points that I could have had. But overall, I loved my professor. She was amazing. She was great in the sense of just you know, kind of wanting us to be on our A game and reading and things like that. And so I enjoyed my experience with her. She was kind of like Mama Bear. Not that I got any special treatment or anything like that, but she was just really caring and whatnot. And so for the most part, my Civ Pro was one of the exams I'm probably sure that tanked everything for me, because as you know, in law school, your final exam is more than likely going to be the determining factor of your total grade for the class. So regardless of how your midterm plays out, whether you failed your midterm, it doesn't mean you failed the class. More than likely, it's just the kind of foretell sign of what is to come if you don't do the necessary or take the necessary steps to improve. And so with that being said, I really tried to study, and I know that if I had studied early, if I started studying earlier on in the semester, I probably would have had a better handle on things, because I think that was really one of the exams that I ended up not doing the greatest in. And as far as and the tanker of it all was my writing class, and I struggled with that class for the bulk of the semester. I had I just felt like, it's not that I didn't know how to write, so to speak. I think it was just in my interactions with my professor, and it didn't work out the way that I hoped it would. I consistently was finding myself in the bottom 25% of the overall class as far as writing, and I just couldn't understand why. I mean, I always took it like, and I never really contested the grade or found out really as to why. Like, I would just try to work on the next assignment and try to, you know, figure out how I could do it better, or put forth effort better in that paper. But for the most part, that wasn't a great way to go about it. And so in the end, I ended up failing that particular class. So needless to say, after taking or attempting 15 plus credits for that semester, I ended up having a GPA that was not the required GPA to move on into the next semester. And so I really wanted to fight the F, and because I just felt like I still did a lot of the work, and what I've been told, it takes effort not to fail a class, right? You have to like really not have gone to class, not have attempted to try to do the work. You really had not to have put forth effort into really, like, as far as the workload goes. And in this situation, I felt like I never missed a day of class. I went and met with professors. I met with my professor, my TA. But at the end of the day, it was really my interaction with my professor that really killed it. And I just really wanted to fight it. That's when I found out that I didn't hit the required GPA, and more than likely I would be placed on the academic dismissal list. And so that was detrimental to me. I was just like, what? I just felt like, really? Like, this is it? Like, what? Like, it's only been 4 months. This is the first semester. There has to be some way. Maybe I'm missing points from different professors. Maybe something was miscalculated. Maybe I can go back to this writing professor. I don't understand why I would get an F overall anyway. A lot of people were telling me to contest it because they just felt like an F wasn't merited, like, especially if you did the work. Kind of negates everything that you've done. Again, once you've already pleaded your case in terms of the dean, their decision is final. And so at the end of the day, I am at this point where I've been officially academically dismissed in the sense of the school's eyes. They pulled all my spring courses. I wasn't able to go to my first week of what they call immersion here, and it's like a week of one class before your core classes start, and my core classes actually start on Monday, this upcoming Monday, and today's Thursday. Sorry, stop recording. So all in all, it was kind of sad, you know. I was very sad. I was just at a point of confusion. I was, you know, kind of like, at this point, like, God, you brought me all the way here. I've sacrificed so much. And this is me just, you know, talking to God. I'm like, you know, I just felt like I invited you in as far as helping me to make this decision as to whether to go back to school. And I prayed and I fasted, you know, since January 2014. And I know that you were with me in this decision, and all of a sudden things aren't going the way that I thought it would. So I'm like, you know, Lord, I know you wouldn't just leave me halfway. I know that there's a bigger plan. And so I'm going to stay faithful, and I'm going to continue to pray until I hear an answer from you, because I know that this can't be it. And so, I mean, all through the time and during the time of like writing the letter, I've had friends that, you know, encouraged me, the close friends that I was comfortable enough to kind of talk about it with. And in the midst of it, I didn't really want to let so a lot of my other close friends, I didn't want to let them know, because I just was like, this can't be it. And it's kind of embarrassing, you know, to have made such a move. And the fact that what was really in my mind was like, oh my God, my family doesn't have money, and this wasn't a situation where I could just try it and see if I'm good at it and then walk away. Like, this was something I've been working on or working towards forever, like since 2008, since I got into college, and to the fact that, you know, when I started taking the exam. So, whoa, like, you know, this is big, like, wow. So, still at this point, I'm still home, and I am still praying, though, very faithful and hopeful, because I know that my God is an amazing God, and he can do all things, even at the very last minute. And he's the beginning and he is the end. And you know, whatever his will is for my life, I'm going to take that journey, I'm going to take that step. But in the end, I definitely know that for sure God placed me here for a reason. I was brought here, things worked out here, I still have a place to live for a reason. And it isn't I know that this isn't it. I know this isn't the end. And I until I get an answer from God, a vivid answer as to what it is that his plan is, I'm not going to give up praying. I'm going to stay at his feet, and I'm going to continue to bring my requests up to him, because I know the same God that answered me before, the same God that opened the doors before, will open the doors again that no man can close. So I know things will turn around for the better. And I just wanted to give you this update and be candid and be honest. You know, the enemy doesn't stop working once you get in this law school program. If you do make it in and whatnot, or if it's in God's will for you to be there, count on God's blessings. Think about the good things. And this is what I've been trying to do, is like not let the negative thoughts of things that has happened get to my spirit, like, because I know that God has brought me through many situations before. Back when I was in college, even in, you know, my undergrad school, it was an act of God that allowed me to get into the school that I got into. And you know, I know that that same God that was there yesterday, that was there the day, you know, during that time, not literally yesterday, but like that was there at that time, will definitely be the same God to act and react as far as taking care of the situation now. And I think it's just all a test of faith, and I love the Lord, and I will continue to serve him and continue to lift him up. And I know what I need to do. I know that I need to draw closer to him and not put anything before him. And I know my relationship needs to be a relationship, and it's not a routine. And I think that's what I kind of got caught up into. And I think that God is placing me through this faith to really understand that you can't be in a relationship with someone and not put forth effort. And so God is like, you gonna work right now, you gonna work, you gonna pray, you gonna be on your knees, you gonna get, you know, you gonna read your word, and you're gonna work. And so he says, no, I'm gonna keep pushing forward, I'm gonna keep believing, I'm gonna keep persevering, I'm gonna keep on going. And I urge you to do the same thing in whatever situation that you may be going through. It may not be like mine, it may not completely be like what I'm going through, but you know, in the end, don't lose hope, don't lose faith. And so I just wanted to bring this message to you and be candid and be honest about what actually happens. There are people who don't make it through, and there are people who do, and you gotta stay strong and stay steadfast in what you believe you are meant to be, as far as what God has placed in your heart and the will of his will. You know, it's one thing to want something for yourself, but God knows what you need, and he will make way out of no way for what you need. And so I'll leave this with you. Thank you again for supporting me and leaving so many amazing comments down on my first video about law school. I'm so happy that it has encouraged people. Some of you have actually reached out to me via email, and it's such a blessing to hear from you, and you know, just keeping me in prayer. And I appreciate it. I love it so much. And I know that that's probably what stirred the enemy and made him upset and furious, in the fact that some people that probably were in this teeter-totter mode are now going ahead and walking by faith. And when, you know, that's what God reacts on, our ability to walk by faith. Faith is what triggers everything. And so the enemy doesn't like that, and so he's probably trying to put, you know, he was putting barriers to try to stop that. And so with that being said, keep going, keep doing it, and don't be afraid, because God's got you, and he'll never let you fall, and he'll never let you walk in shame. And so I believe to ask you again to keep me in prayer, and stay steadfast in your journey. And until next time, bye.
Feel like I lost right from the beginning, and if I'm your child.
Hey guys, it's your girl Linnee, and I just wanted to come to you and film a update on what's going on. As you, I'm sure, already seen in the previous clips, I've talked about my journey and how I felt in the process and things of that nature, and just wanted to give you an update that I am back home in Jersey. I am here with my family. Things are going pretty okay. I'm in a good place, and I'm still very hopeful as to whatever God has planned for my life. So the sole purpose of really sharing this testimony has been really to share my experience with someone else who may be interested in going to school or are going through a similar situation in their life, whether it may not be the same situation like I am as far as academics and things of that nature, but to share the good and the bad. Because I mean, what good is it really when someone can't talk about the negatives or the ups and the downs of situations? It really just builds for a bigger story and a bigger testimony. And for me, I thought that it would be really just a failure to not mention, not a failure, but it's really not telling you the whole story in regards to this process for me and in my life and my personal journey. It may not happen to everyone, obviously, but that was my whole purpose, was really just to share this so that it can encourage someone else or help someone else. And then so that I can reflect back and look and see and take a look back and just remind myself of where I came from and what I've been through and that I made it through. So that is the purpose of me just sharing this video, and I hope that it is helpful to you.
I'm weak and sometimes we may fall too far, but each time you'll catch us, 'cause you know how fragile we are. Each time you'll catch us, 'cause you know how fragile we are.